myself at a disadvantage because I don't heal the first round. So yeah, potentially I have to spend the rest of the fight trying to keep myself topped off, while I could have avoided that somewhat by negating some of the damage by healing the first round. Well, that would depend, of course, if the boss does deal that much damage and would constantly keep you on the defensive for the rest of the fight, which of course would prolong the boss fight overall. But I digress. Now let's see here what we can do. I have to admit that I'm kind of feeling a little bit confuzzled about. It feels like it's been a while since I played this. And for some reason, not all of the things just come back to me when I look through what I have here. So admittedly, I don't completely know what I'm doing right now. Oh man, no, I think this one actually doesn't heal as much as, yeah, right. I should have just used Mediarama here, but wasn't quite sure what Soothing Melody did. Okay. Okay, so he heals from that. Well, actually, now that I think about it, he also used earth-based attacks when I fought him in Innocent Sin, so... Okay. But I shouldn't really focus on those pudgy cloud monsters. I should just keep focusing on him. Or rather, I could use group spells to attack all of them. But the one you should be focusing is of course him. So we're gonna switch in Tencent, so Maya can use Mediarama, and yeah, well, I'm currently in the stage where I'm trying to figure out what magic actually deals the most damage to him. And I can never remember which personas each character has the best affinity with, so I do have to check each one of them and see when they have the decreased SP cost. That's when I know that they have the appropriate persona assigned to them. But I can never, since I can't remember that, I have to check all of them, or at least try to figure out. Oh. Thank you for your for healing me. Now let's see what this says. Nope. Yeah, I would say that his minions are just a slight inconvenience and not much else. It's not as bad as when I had to fight the Bolontiku in Innocent Sin. Those guys deal a lot of damage, and they would they also had a high agility, so they would take turns pretty fast too. So I barely made it out of that one. But this fight doesn't seem to be as bad, naturally. It's probably going to get worse the further I get, but that's for the future. Okay. You know, I noticed that unfortunately, I don't have that many spell elements available to me. So depending how things goes, I might just have made a pretty bad. I might just have picked a very bad composition of personas to bring with me in this dungeon, but we'll have to see. It will depend on how much damage wind-based attacks will do to him. Yeah, seems to do a decent amount of damage.
This is the greatest.
Thankfully, the self-explosion attack doesn't do that much damage. It would have really been really bad if let's see. It says. All right. Well, actually, now that I think about it, since he is earth-based, yeah, it's natural that he will take a lot of damage from wind attacks. All right. No, that's not. Yeah, so I actually maybe I actually did pick a decent composition for this dungeon, after all. Maybe. Yeah, well, there's also the fact remaining that I have to fight. Well, because I still have to get rid of Wanglong Shizuru. So if I actually have to fight her in this dungeon, I'm not sure how things would go. If you just look at it based on the personas and the spells I have available to me, I don't seem to be able to deal much damage besides some earth, but mostly fire and wind-based attacks. So I hope things will actually go well. Yeah, I shouldn't really be brooding over things I haven't seen yet, but I just can't help to somewhat be concerned of what actually happens in the future, even if I don't know, but... It's just that I always want to be as I always want to have a versatile composition of personas with me at all times. Yes, so that I could actually be prepared for pretty much anything. But that's not easy to actually accomplish, but that's what I always try to strive for, nonetheless. Oh, I had totally forgotten he can use this. Should be fine though, I think. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep using that fusion spell because it does the most damage.
It's over.
And that's about it.